Hello to all my viewers and welcome to another episode of the Global Chatter. This time we'll be analyzing referendums putting abortion on the ballot in the 2024 election, and voters in a record 10 states cast ballots to decide whether to enshrine abortion rights in their state constitutions this year. So measures that will protect abortion rights. In fact, 9 states had measures that would protect abortion rights. Out of these 9 states, 6 states passed, while 3 states failed. And measures that will limit abortion in Nebraska, initiated 434, which will prohibit abortion past first trimester, passed. Then this will cause Nebraska's, abortion access to be limited. Florida, this amendment. Florida Amendment 4 would limit government interference with the procedure before viability or when needed for the patient's health, which is essentially to protect abortion's rights. It failed. It failed because Florida's referendums are very interesting. They need 60% of the vote to pass. And the yes vote fell short by a few hundred thousand votes. So no won, even though less people voted for it. And in fact, in Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach, all of these 3 counties voted yes, although Miami-Dade County voted for Kamala Harris in the same presidential election. Maryland, question 1, passed 76%. No surprise, this is a heavily Democratic state. Okay, so yes, this is not surprising. It passed by a 3-time margin, so not surprising. All counties except for Garrett County said yes to this amendment. Now, Missouri took a further step. This amendment would establish a constitutional right to abortive reproductive rights and remove Missouri's ban on abortion. Now, this would repeal a existing ban on abortion, and this actually passed, although most counties said no, but because the vote was centered around more populous counties, so in the end the yes vote passed by rather a thin margin of about 1 million votes or so. And Arizona, we covered this before, right to abortion passed, and in Maricopa County it passed by quite a landslide, 62 to 38. So yes, it would give Arizonans a right to abortion. Colorado also held a right to abortion referendum. You see a lot of blue, I see solid blue here. Denver voted it by 81 to 19% margin, which really pushed it forward for it to win by a 62 to 38 margin. And this measure would need 55% of the vote to pass, not the usual 50% majority. Prohibit abortion past first trimester. So this Nebraska initiative was the one that it would limit abortion access. So yes, won by about a 9-point margin, and you can see here a lot of yes here. Okay, Nebraska, the other one, would amend to establish a right, and this was voted down by a 2-point margin, quite thin actually. You can see here that Omaha, Douglas County actually voted for, while the rest of the counties voted no, but it was only passed by a very thin margin. New York also held a abortion referendum with language, ethnic, national origin, age, disability or sex, sexual orientation, pregnancy, reproductive health care, and autonomy, which means to expand the scope of abortion. It passed 62.5 to 37.5, especially heavily in these New York City regions, the counties. Now, South Dakota would establish a constitutional right to the abortion. It failed. No, 58.6 to 41.4. It is a heavy Democratic state, so yes, this happening isn't a very, very surprising thing. In Montana, this amendment would change to establish a right for individuals who have access to abortion. So it would change the state's constitution to establish a right for individuals to have access to abortion. It passed 57.8 to 42.2, despite being a heavy Republican state, and also at the same time Republican Senate candidate Tim Sheehy winning in the state of Montana in the concurrent Senate election. Now, Nevada, we also covered this before. Fundamental right to the procedure, it passed, and a lot of counties actually said yes. Only the northern counties said no. Washoe County and Clark County all voted by tremendous margins, in fact the same margins, for this abortion referendum that passed 64.4 to 35.6. And that wraps up the 10 states that will be voting on abortion on the ballot. So this wraps up the 10 states. And the places, the 3 defeated in South Dakota, Nebraska, and Florida will mean that their abortion restrictions will remain in place. Okay, so this video is done, and this is the Global Chatter signing out. Bye bye.